We specifically look at the qualifications that are in the qualifications framework, identifying them, and looking at packaging rules and how to put together a training package to meet the qualification standards that are set under these packaging rules.
Okay, the element 2 basically is something that discusses about the packaging rules to develop in the ASEAN qualifications. It also has the RQFSRS, or the ASEAN Regional Qualification Frameworks and Skills Recognition System. Actually, my most favorite part of this training, because this actually gives a better understanding of how an assessor will actually do the assessment in terms of packaging rules. These are the framework, or the skeleton on where you would base your assessment, because you cannot just assess based on your observation without any objective basis on the side. So this is the page of this training manual from this training that is quite important and very helpful for us. We cannot lose, because every time that we are doing assessment, this is our descriptor. For example, for common core competencies, those examples: work effectively with colleagues and customers. So that's a competency we would like to see. Okay, so we have to disregard other competencies which is not inclusive in that particular cluster, and then we focus on our observations, on our evidences that we will be able to get from the candidate.
In Performance Criteria 2.1, we identify the available qualification under the ASEAN Qualification Framework. There are 52 qualifications available on the ASEAN Qualification Framework across the 6-level division.
Clusters actually I divided into, as I mentioned, it's divided across the 6 labor divisions. The clusters are actually the particular skills under a certain labor division that you need to pull out. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You get the main competencies, or the mandatory or the core competencies, and then from these clusters, you try to pick out, functionalities and skills that you would like to include in your package, that you'd like to see from the candidate in order for you to assess and give a competency for a particular certificate level. This discusses actually the 242 toolboxes that is widely spread across the 6 labor divisions, namely food and beverage, food production, front office, housekeeping, tours operations, and travel services. This is actually the most important for me, and actually my most favorite part of this training, because this actually gives a better understanding of how an assessor will actually do the assessment in terms of packaging rules. At first, when you have a glance of it, it looks very complicated until you just realize the importance of it, what is it all about. So as I mentioned, packaging rules is very important because that's where you create a particular qualification. And from there are several clusters divided across the 6 labor divisions, and that includes core competencies and the operational imperatives. So the core competencies are the competencies that are required or mandatory for a particular qualification. And then you have the operational, which means you have an additional functionality competencies that you may want to add to the package of the mandatory ones in order for you to create a qualification. But what's good about it is these operational imperatives are used for a particular certificate level that you wanted to assess from a particular candidate. And at the same time, what's good about it is it's very flexible for the students and for us assessors as well. Like for students, maybe from Certificate 2, they would like to go directly to Certificate 4. So they don't need to pass the Certificate 3 level, as long as they have complied already with the functionality and the mandatory core competencies included in these package rules.